I just give her one thing at a time, man. And that's what I've been doing. And let her understand that I'm a whole onion. And these are the layers that I'm trying to peel slowly before you start crying. Because once you get to that core, that's when the tears falls. I'm trying my hardest, layer after layer, so that I don't bombard her. We unpack what we can.
With your brother, not just reps, but regrets. Ask what's heavy on your heart, not how much you bench press. We rewrite the definition of strong from the root. Soft voice, steady eye contact. That's unshakable. We unpack what we can.
Men Unpacked. I'm loving it. What's good, fellas? Check in real quick. How y'all doing?
Well,
Man, living in answered prayers, bro. It's good, man. Life's amazing.
I like
living
that
on
right
the
there, man.
prayer.
That's
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. I love it. I love it. Shoot, I'm feeling good too. Definitely chopping it up with these wonderful kings, man. Fellas, I got a question for y'all to jump this segment off. What makes vulnerability feel unsafe?
To me, feels unsafe when a person believes their openness could be judged or rejected.
I strongly agree. Very easily, that's exactly what it is. Whether it's rejected or someone turns your vulnerability into a sore spot. Like, okay, this was already a soft spot. You didn't have to hit me there.
Facts. Listen, man, we 3 for 3 because I can't stand no judgmental person. I hate it to the core, bro. So, if I'm coming to you open, honest, transparent, and you just have a judgmental spirit, it ain't going to work, man. I feel you, fellas. I agree with that one right there.
How do you experience and process your emotions beyond just mad or good, fella?
Honestly, man, one of the things that have worked for me over the last year is just pausing, taking a minute to really reflect. I know for some of us being mad or being angry is like the default setting and, just saying like, yo, I'm good. But sometimes you're not good. And then even when you're angry and when you're mad, honestly, that's like a secondhand emotion or feeling. It's something else like that's troubling you. You hurt, you know what I mean? You might be broke. The paycheck ain't hitting like it needs to be hitting. And sometimes for me, I go get in the corner, chill for a minute, and honestly, journal and ask myself, like, why? Just sit down and process these feelings, man, and unpack them. And I'm good after the fact.
Exactly what you said. Like, we can rap. It's easy to throw all of our feelings right into the package of mad, bad, or, today was a good day. Well, let's actually look at what was good. I think being able to reflect on and pinpoint what was good about a day, man, that's really one of the things I try to spend time with God in. Just, hey, okay, these things are the things that I'm grateful for. That's what made today a good day. And I think also that unpacking of a situation, like you said, is what helps us to resolve the issue if there is an issue. We could say under the umbrella of being upset and angry, okay, well, what happened? Oh man, it was this thing right here, and it was that thing over there, and I just didn't like how that made me feel. So I presented it with anger.
I would say one of the things that my therapist, we talk about it, and they always say every good therapist needs a therapist, or it's the same thing. Every life coach can also utilize a life coach. So one of the things that we talk about is like we don't see emotions as just being mad or good. I experience and process them as information, just like information. It's like when something triggers an emotion, I try to slow down, just like you said. You have to pause. You have to say, you know what? Is this something for me to really be mad about? Or is this something for me to get excited about, be fresh or be anxious about? You have to be able to process, your thinking, and you have to actually stop and think. Like, I want to respond. Like, how you ever heard the saying is, I need you to listen to understand versus listening to respond?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you have to do sometimes, man. Things are triggering or something becomes something that's not the norm. You have to sometimes think about it. Like, you know what? Did this person mean this? Because people can hear something and take it completely different than how you project it to be. So sometimes slow down. Take a chill pill.
And I want to slide through with a little experience and one that just happened recently too. So I love everything Black media. I love podcasts. I love Black radio. I love when I see Black men and women get on these mics and take up the responsibility to like spread good information amongst the community, man. And so I set up a meeting with Word Radio out of Philadelphia. Uh, Dope platform, dope community, dope people, man. And last week, we had to cancel it. It had to get pushed back. And, I was in my feelings a little bit. I ain't even going to stop because I had my hopes high when it came to this meeting. And like I was feeling a certain type of way. And, a rush of emotions, a wave of, bad feelings started to, they came, they set in. I'm like, yo, man, like I ain't going to get another opportunity. I'm like, yo, I'm feeling like I'm being played. Yo, dang God, like, you see your boy moving and shaking. I need some win to happen in my life right about now, man. And so I had to pause for a sec. It was like, hold on, bro. Just because this isn't a definite no, what this is that, yo, we about to reschedule. You know what I mean? Weather is bad. The sister meeting with me, she got some stuff going on. You don't know what's happening on her end. You need to pause for a minute. Just because she said no at the moment is like, yo, that doesn't mean like, yo, it's a definite no. And so long story short, after the pausing and after the reflecting and thinking back, just taking a moment for myself and so just to recoup myself, man. She reaches back out like, hey, let's schedule it for 2 weeks out. And I got you. And it works better this way because instead of you getting 15 minutes of a meeting time, now we got 45 minutes. Sometimes it's just, it's just good to pause and just to reflect, man. So, that's my best friend right there. Just sitting back, pausing and reflecting and thinking like, why? Really, it's beneficial to us as men.
And honestly, you know what? That's really one of those things that I like to look back on how I reacted to a situation, regardless of the outcome. How did I look back on it, and would I be proud of that? Let's say right there in that situation, if I was in that situation, if I would have like spazzed out, I wouldn't be proud of that. Even if I did get 3 times the amount of time that I could have initially got, how we respond to a thing initially, a lot of time that reaction is a part of our true self. So the reaction versus responding. And bro, I think you did a great job of like just mellowing out, seeing the field, and just letting the play happen. But as a dating coach, I was thinking about this. I think once a man really gets clear about his emotions, he's allowed to feel them and voice them because he can explain where they came from. I think there's a certain amount of confidence that he can sit in, even if even if they reject what he's telling them. Well, hey, I told you this from a confident place. Your insults or however you may feel about this, I know where it came from, and it was up to them to receive it. And I think that's really powerful for someone to just simply know where their emotions came from and to be settled on. Hey, look, this isn't a reaction. This is a response in me telling you about it.
Big facts. I agree, bro. And I feel like a mature woman, she appreciates that. You know what I mean? Because more than likely, she done the work herself. So when a man approaches her and, is able to articulate like, hey, this is what's going on with me. I need a hug. I need somebody to talk to. I need to get something off my chest or whatever the case. She appreciates that at the end of the day. So I feel like, bridging the gap, men and women, women and men. And when a mature man and a mature woman meets each other and they're able to express, their feelings, and then the person that's on the opposite end is able to like, just provide that space for them. Man, that's a win-win for everybody, man. So it's beautiful. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. So that brings me to this. Like, so what are some of the physical or emotional signals men should pay attention to before a reaction turns into escalation?
Man, actually, I know I got something for that one right now. Something I've had to pay attention to. The moment that I start holding my breath, I'm not thinking. I'm not thinking. I'm about to react. Now it's all about the level of the reaction that's coming. And I've known that ever since I was a kid. Mom start yelling at me. I'm not breathing no more. I'm holding on. And the moment that I can just let what I'm feeling out, like let that breath out and bring in something new. I can think again. You can start cooling your body down because man, that's where I've really felt like, man, as soon as I start feeling that heat and I just stopped, I stopped kind of letting those new thoughts come in. It's probably not going to go well from there.
So I'm gonna pick it back off my own question, right?
Mhm.
And this happened to me today. I'm gonna ask you about this show that came out a long time. It was a while ago. It's called Dream On. Have you seen that show before? It was coming HBO special. It was explain it. So Dream On. It was a kid, white kid that his mom would always have dates, right? I always have dates, but the mom would put the kid in front of the television, and he would just watch movies all day long while the mom is on dates and in the house eating with her boy toys and stuff like that. Whenever I get like frustrated, the signals come. Often think about I would have a vision in my head like what would happen if I did something like this. Like I would always think about, man, if I just cuss this lady out right now, or I just tell her I'm tired of her, if I tell my boss I'm tired of him, like what's gonna happen? And I would play that in my head. And it's almost just like you said that you stopped breathing. I think at that point of time I stopped thinking. I started thinking, and I'd be like, if I do this, what would be the outcome of that? And I would play it in my head. And once I start doing that, that's when I start saying to myself, after I come to, man, what you doing? What you doing? Breathe. It's all right.
Mhm.
Just listen to what they're saying and then go with it. Because a lot of times it's like, my wife always say, you need to be nice nasty. I don't know how to be nice nasty. I know how to be pissed off. It's like if you hire me, and I said this to one of the principals today. I said, if you hire somebody to do a job, allow them to do the job, and that's how sometimes I feel. It's like before I react, I start to have these dream on experiences. Like I will visualize me doing what I'm thinking about doing, and then I come to like, man,
Mhm.
So, fellas, you guys, I like what you guys said, man, and y'all breaking down some heavy stuff, man, and I love it. So, I got a question for y'all. If someone close to you notices these signals before you do, what kind of support would actually help you in that moment instead of making things worse?
Me and my wife, we joke all the time about, people pissing us off. We would say, man, we ain't been in a good fight in a long time. And it's just an inside joke that we have with each other. But if I'm really pissed off, all she really have to do is just get close to me and rub my back. Just rub my back. And that at that time now I'm feeling because, my love language is touch, right? Physical touch. So she's rubbing my back in the midst of me being pissed off and like ready to act. I'm calming down now. It's like, and this is one thing that I think she knows, and being able to just look at me and just say, "It's all right. We got this."
Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, now I was about to say, bro. I mean, I love what Coach Mack broke down, man. I mean, kind of sort of the exact same thing, man. I'm like, yo, if you see me, you see a certain behavior, you see a trait that's taking place, fam, listen, whether it's one or if it's a close friend, a homie, family member, whatever, pull me to the side, man, and just be like, yo, usually you're an optimistic dude, you positive, you upbeat, like, fam, what's going on with you, bro? Like, it's been a week. I ain't heard from you. You've been down and out. I'm like, yo, honestly, that'll snap me back to reality. Just a quick check-in. I love a good check-in, bro. The way we jump this off, I love checking in on people. And fam, I love it back. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, it's like, okay, whatever's going on with me, for some reason, those check-ins, they mean the most. Cause it's like, yo, you calling me or you texting me, you ain't asking for no money. You ain't asking for no favors. You ain't asking for this, that, and the third. You feel me? You ain't asking for no gas money. It's just genuinely you checking in on me to see how I'm doing. And I love stuff like that, fam. Like when it's genuine like that, yo, I can rock all day with that. And it brings my spirit up. Whatever's going on, it snaps me out of it because I know somebody out there that cares for me. And I can get with that type of energy.
I think the thing that comes to mind for me is kind of a combination of what both y'all said, man. It's someone that can talk to me and they can see where I'm kind of down. They can see where I'm kind of down, and they can remind me of where I came from and where I am. This is somebody who got to know you. You know what I'm saying? Someone who's got to really know your story. And I think that's the kind of thing that really helps me. That's someone rubbing my back for me. That's someone giving me that words of encouragement. And I think that's really excellent. But I have a question for you guys. So how do you share layers without bombarding the person you are reaching out for help or support from? How do you share those layers without bombarding them?
Man, that's a tough question right there, man. 'Cause that's been something that I've been working on for the past 13 years now with my wife. It's like I have some things that has happened to me that really is a big trigger to me. But I know that because she knows so much about me, it's almost like I don't want to put more on her because it's like I think I just give her one thing at a time, man. And that's what I've been doing. And let her understand that I'm a whole onion. And these are the layers that I'm trying to peel slowly before you start crying. Because once you get to that core, that's when the tears falls. So it's like I'm trying my hardest, like layer after layer after layer, so that I don't bombard her with things. Because I do know that she have things going on. You know what I mean. It's like she have family issues. She have, we have family issues and stuff with our own kids and parents and siblings. And it's almost like sometimes it's like I don't want to bombard her with issues I have with my siblings because she lost her only sibling. You know what I mean? So I try to peel the layers back slowly.
Bro, it's funny you brought up the onion piece because I was cutting some up earlier, to season my chicken with and whatnot. And I'm sitting up here and I'm like, bro, I don't know how to, fam, I don't know how the elders did this, bro, because I'm like, yo, I'm getting to the joint. And I had to step away because I'm like, yo, I can't see right now. I don't know how Big Mama did it, man. Like, she was a G. She was just getting with it. Man, to answer the question, man, I love what Coach Max said, and I agree. Man, I'm just being patient, man. It is a tough question because I'm like, I don't want to overwhelm somebody else. I would say stuff like, yo, I don't know, I'm tired. And I feel like an individual that actually knows me, they get that. Like, they understand, like, what's going on. They're like, okay, Chris tired. Let me send some love his way. This is a tough question, but when it comes to layers, it's like give little bits and pieces. I guess little hidden little hints, like, yo, this is what's going on with me. I'm tired. Or, I done had a little rough day. I don't want to go into details because I don't want to bombard you with what's going on, but just know it was a rough day. And, a person that know an individual, they'll come in and be like, hey, uh, I know how to make you better. Like you said, pats on the back. Hey, man, here goes some money to go get you some lunch, go get you something to eat or whatever. But yeah, tough question. But for me, I just try not to overwhelm another individual. Give little hints, little bits and pieces. And hopefully they toss a lifeline out there.
I call it an overview. I'll give you a general perspective, of what's going on in my life, what's bothering, what's affecting me, and that's without getting into the heavy stuff. The heavy stuff can be part of the onion where, hey, man, look, I might cry, and who knows, I might not want to do that at the moment. I just want to talk about what's going on. Um, just being respectful and mindful of where they are in their life as well. Things that they may have experienced, things that they may have been through that may be similar. Some people just can't handle that additional weight at the time. If this is my person and I know they got stuff going on, look, I'll try to have as much of a conversation to help heal myself, but I'm also very mindful of what they're going through.
Absolutely. And we got to be cautious of these things as well, man, because, although, life really do be life and, we do got to be careful because hurt people hurt people. And what these things looks like at the end of the day, and when a hurt individual is hurting another individual, sometimes it is trauma dumping. Sometimes it is, just taking out your anger and frustration unnecessarily on another individual, and they don't even deserve it. And again, this is where this pause and reflect. This is where it comes in handy at, because you're not like emotionally leaking on another person to where now, you damaging them and you causing them heartache and pain throughout their life. But when a hurt person hurts another person, bro, all you're doing is just we creating this crazy, chaotic cycle in life. And now we wonder, like, yo, why people so crazy right now? Why people on edge? Or why people, hesitant to, get out here and date and mix and mingle or whatever? Because it's like, fam, you don't cause so much hurt. And these seeds keep getting planted over and over and over again. If you know that you're hurt, you know that you're going through some things. One of the best things I ever did was isolate, detach from life, and not in a bad way. Let me not say isolate. Let me say I went into solitude. I detached from social media, detached from degree people, and really just got in the corner and been like, hey, let me work on myself because I know something's wrong. And we all adults. You know when something's going on with you. And when you know something's going on with you, and you really care about the people that's around you, you care about community, you care about society, you're going to figure it out and you're going to work on yourself. When you know you hurt, like really go seek healing, go seek peace, get with a therapist. Coach Mack is up here. Man, Jackson is up here. Get with these dope brothers and like actually get into a place of healing, man, so you can actually contribute some dope to society instead of emotionally leaking and causing all types of heartache and havoc out here in the community, man.
Hurt people do hurt people, man. I remember when me and my wife went through the things that we was going through, and she was telling me, I wanted you to hurt just like I hurt. The way I was feeling, I wanted you to feel. So I was doing this. But the one thing that I had told her, that I told my wife, I want to say when we had some issue with my daughter, and she was like, my daughter wanted me to to be able to understand and acknowledge how she was feeling. And I was telling my wife at the times, like, you have to understand that I'm not you, because my mad don't look like your mad, and my hurt doesn't look like your hurt. When I told her that, she was like, you know what, you're right. I tell her, and just like I tell anybody else, just because I'm hurt, I'm a whole different person. Although hurt people do hurt people. That goes to say, and how do you determine who has actually earned the right to see your vulnerability? Do the person that you've been with, do they earn that? Or a person that you can confide into, do they earn that? Or is it the person that you listen to when they are down? Do they earn that?
I think the person who earns that right is the person that, like we said, man, sometimes we've got to spoon feed them. And so you give them the overview of the situation and you see what they do with that, how they lend to a situation or how they take away from it. Some people, you get to see pretty early how they manage their friends' information. How they encourage their friends if they do. Obviously we all have some opinions that may not be so encouraging all the time, but we can certainly see when someone is a giver. They're like, you know what? I see you have a problem. I'm gonna help you with that. And I think those people earn the right. But the cool thing about this is the same way that a person can earn it, that someone can also lose the privileges to see you being vulnerable, to see what you're really made of. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I can't offer you that anymore. You can earn it back. We're still together. You can earn it back. But I think sometimes there's a learning process of, okay, let me show you this person what I need from them. When I offer them this information, they can still be themselves in their response. But hey, this is how you help me if you intend to help me.
I tell my 21-year-old and my 20-year-old, if you need to have friends that's going to tell you what you need to hear versus what you want to hear, and then you most definitely need friends that's going to deposit in your life versus withdraw. That's 100% right what you were saying.
Nice. So what's one way someone can practice vulnerability without feeling like they're giving too much of themselves? You don't want to lose yourself in what you're offering, or maybe even embarrass yourself. But what's one way someone can practice that?
Honestly, I'm right off the top of the dome. You can't. To be honest with you, I'm not even going to stunt. I don't know if you can. And that's just my take. I mean, once you out there and once you open, you can be patient and you can kind of like give little bits and pieces. It just is what it is. And you just got to be comfortable with that. That's the only advice I can give a person. When you want to be transparent and when you want to be vulnerable, be comfortable with, sharing yourself, man. It's not always a bad thing. It's not a detriment to, you as a person, to your character or the person you're looking to become. Is actually a building block. Like, it's a beautiful thing at the end of the day when you can be transparent and be open and honest with a person or different people. Because I done seen poets, I done seen people get on the stage and like literally pour their hearts out in front of a entire crowd, and that entire crowd goes wild and like they receive healing. They come up and they're like, "Yo, I really needed to hear these words," and I can almost promise you, people going to catch wind of this and they're gonna listen to Coach Mac Jackson and myself, and they're gonna be like, "Yo, I really needed to hear this." So being vulnerable, man, people need to hear your story. We got testimonies for a reason because it brings healing, not just for ourselves, but for other people as well.
Being vulnerable and just listening what us three will be talking about, it's going to bring a lot of healing, because how many times have we've heard as men, I'm not going to talk about my feelings. We hear it all the time, and we've once said it before too.
So I think that most people, if you're going to attempt to practice being vulnerable without giving yourself away too much, one, be extremely comfortable in who you are and the direction that you're going. That way, there is no shame if you accidentally give away something that was too much. That confidence piece of vulnerability and knowing who you are that we talked about earlier, that is essential in this, if you ask me. So once you get there, you really don't, like Coach Chris says, you don't concern yourself so much about how people are receiving you or what they could even do with certain information. Now, don't tell nothing too crazy too soon, but if you know which way you're going, you're confident in who you are, feel free and just go from there.
I have a fill in the blank question for all of us. I'm actually going to fill in the blank first. Vulnerability feels safer when blank. And I'm going to say when I don't feel anxious about telling you about what I want to tell you.
Vulnerability feels safe when I'm just absolutely comfortable coming to you with any and everything. I know I can spill my guts out to you, and it's not going to be any judgmental. It ain't going to be any judgment at the end of the day. I'm just comfortable with you and free.
Vulnerability feels safer when I have a good understanding of how something happened, and therefore I can share it. Once I understand fully how this happened, okay, I feel a whole lot better about sharing this. So, good people, I am Jackson. You can find me at Oh That's Jackson on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. It's all the same. Or if you prefer email, Oh That's Jackson. I look forward to hearing from you. Any kind of questions, answers, whatever it may be. I'm your guy along with the rest of my guys here.
What's going on, beautiful people? I'm Coach Chris, and listen, you guys can find me at IG Life Coach _ Chris, over at Facebook, Christopher Henson. Man, listen, I'm just a dope brother looking to just enhance his community, man, and actually, just have the conversation that brings change, man. So you need to vent, you need to get something off your chest, definitely get in touch with me, man.
Good people, lovely people. I am Coach Mac. You can reach me at Coach JC McGugan or J McGugan 43. And again, you can always reach me. You have some questions for me, I answer them. Or if you just want to chat, just hit me up and we can go from there.
We unpack what we can.